All right, everybody, what's up? It's your boy Gundo. I'm gonna be hooking it up, casting the Mint Caramel versus Justin Punch game. If you're new here to the Mint Gaming on the Web channel, we're glad to have you here. We want you to watch these games today. For the games today, we have Metashift Season 9 Argon Division. For these guys, we got Mint Karma over here on the blue side versus Justice Punch once again. So, without further ado, we're getting straight into this draft. I'm joined here with my boy TDS, and TDS, if you want to introduce yourself, go ahead, man.
Hey, I'm TBS. I think that covers it. Yeah, I'll be the co-caster for tonight. And like you're saying, we have an interesting match: Mid Caramel against Justice Punch. Fight between two teams that haven't done the greatest yet in the league, but are looking to keep on summing, to keep on getting wins, and be able to keep on climbing in the standings. So this should be an interesting game. Mid Caramel already banning away the Shen, and I think something went wrong for Justice Punch because they didn't ban anyone.
Yeah, we'll see how that turns out. They actually just missed that ban, so hopefully it's nothing too big of a deal. They might need to check that out, but we'll see from there. But currently in the standings, as you were talking about, Mint Gaming at 1-1 and Justin Punch at 0-2. So these guys really looking to continue these win streaks that you were saying. On both teams, though, we can just go through these rosters real quick. For Mint Gaming, over here, the Caramel team, we got Peakley up there in the top lane, Cowsep Jr. in the jungle, Flex in the mid lane, Primate and Butters in the bot lane together. We'll see how these guys turn out and come out on the day-to-day. As for the Justice Punch on the red side, we got Gab God over there in the top lane, Fnatic in the jungle, Scout in the mid lane, Maelstrom in the bot lane, joined by Silent Cake as his support. So, two pretty good teams from what I know. Justice Punch starting out on 2, but I'm sure they're going to come out strong today, looking for their first win.
Yeah, and I don't want to say that it's a really important or crucial win because still earlier in the season, I feel like you still have a little bit of leeway before it begins mattering a lot. But I do think that getting those wins can be a good moral boost, and certainly you don't want to be 0-3 or 1-2 in the league right now. So it's better to get that win. I feel like both teams should be not only looking forward to getting the win, but poised to try and get it as hard as possible.
Yeah, getting these first few wins at the start of the season really do good for your morale. You don't want to be that team that's, starting off 0-3 as you were saying, or even going to the next week 0-4. It just really isn't that good for you. You start to have problems within the team. Things like that can happen. So hopefully, Mint can continue their win streak today, or maybe we'll see Justice Punch look for their first win. But regardless, we'll see how these guys turn out. This is the Gold Division. These guys are going to come out strong regardless. And we'll see how this draft turns out. Right now, it did look like that Shen ban was the first one for Mint Caramel over there. And we'll see if they end up going for the same one this time around, as we are restarting this draft once again.
Yeah, it seems like they were going to restart it just because of what happened. So it is going to be the first ban Shen, and it's going to be Cassidy getting banned from the side of Justice Punch. That's the first ban on the side of Justice Punch.
Yeah, and Shen, just one of those top laners that has omnipresence no matter what meta it is in. You could just always lock that in top lane, safe pick. Does struggle into some of these bruisers, into some of these ranged matchups, but regardless of the fact that champ is always going to have global pressure no matter what state of the game you're in. The Graves being banned here as well from Mint Caramel is interesting to see, as well as there goes Peakland's Aurelia. So I kind of had a feeling, you were talking about it actually earlier, TTS. This guy was not going to get that one.
Yeah, we were talking a little bit about this pre-game. Aurelia, we know Pigley is capable of playing the Aurelia. The enemy team knows this as well, and it was more than likely getting banned away. But a lot of focus towards if you notice, the mid lane and the support position, particularly because I think that Shen is a flex potential as well. So quite a few champions getting banned away in those positions. Obviously, we also have the Aurelia and the Graves in between, but that leaves open the Jinx, a champion that has been currently in the preseason a really strong champion, a really strong AD carry that with the lethal tempo and almost in any lane, if she gets just a small lead, she begins running rampant in the game. So I feel like Mint Caramel getting a really strong champion in their hands, and now we need to see what Justice Punch goes for. I think, the fight.
There we go.
Okay,
the
sisters.
Special.
Yeah, sisters fighting against each other. This should be fun.
Yeah, it should be interesting in the lore aspect of this matchup, but Jinx, as you were talking about, very, very strong. If you could pair alongside one of those enchantress supports, even something with some peel is good with her as well. Something
Yeah.
like, Ali, Braum is really good with her as well. So some champs like this, just to give her some peel, or even like an enchanter like Lulu, could do very good for her. But you can see the Thresh there being the lock-in for support over there for Justice Punch. So kind of anticipating maybe one of these squishier supports that they can abuse in lane.
Yeah, what is surprising to me is that they went for the Thresh before going for their AD carry pick. I was expecting maybe they take the Kaylin and try to win lane pretty much against the Jinx, because that's one of the ways that you can shut down the Jinx is forcefully winning lane, and you can do that with a Kaylin and an Enchanter support on her side. But instead going for the Thresh, taking away the safety, like you were saying with the Jinx, and also trying to go against a squishy support if there's preemptively waiting for a squishy support, which it doesn't end up like that. It's the Nautilus instead, and also paired up with Yamu. So a lot of lockdown, a lot of CC already on the side of Mint Caramel to set up for the Jinx in the later stages of the game.
Yeah, and a Jinx, as the champion, she just loves having this front line in front of her, right? Somebody to just take the hits for her, somebody to just stand in front of her as the CC's flying at her. Something to get that Vi off of her as well. But Justice Punch over here also answering with the Ornn pick for themselves. Gonna be providing just as much CC, if not a little bit more, than that Amumu in the later stages of the game, because his AoE ultimate is kind of hard to deal with in those tight corridors around Baron, around Dragon, and in the type of meta we're in right now, where these objectives are the most important they've probably ever been. Ornn in those tight corridors is really, really good to have.
Yeah, certainly. I think that Ornn also secures that top lane situation where even though you may get against a split pusher or a champion that can deal a lot of damage, Ornn is one of the champions that neutralizes really well those kind of champions. He survives effectively and then goes into the team fight really, really strong. So I'm expecting this Ornn to be a really nice pick, and against a champion like Jinx that even though doesn't have a lot of mobility and depends a little bit on the flash or the Gale Force if she goes for that, Ornn can be really good. But when you look at the Justice Punch champions that they've just picked, Vi has a point and click CC towards the Jinx. Thresh has a single target lockdown with his hook, and then the Ornn has the ultimate that does cover a lot of areas. So really specifically trying to lock down this Jinx as hard as possible. And now we need to see what AD carry does end up going for Justice Punch. I think they missed the ban.
Yeah, I believe they banned Victor as well. That's what they're saying in the other chat. So it's probably going to be Victor that's banned as well. So really sticking with this Arcane theme in this draft so far. But to add on to your point of just hard CC, man, if they go for this Ashe, I would just hate to be the Jinx this game. This Nautilus is really just going to have to stand next to her, let the Mumu engage, or really, Mint Caramel here is really just going to want to focus on counter engaging, letting Justice Punch make the first move. But as as fights usually turn out in League of Legends, those who are making the first move usually end up having priority in that fight. So Mint Caramel going to have a task at hand here, facing these three giants in the Vi, Thresh, and Ornn, alongside this Ashe, who can really just stand behind them and shoot with no problems at all.
Yeah, but the problem that I'm seeing right now with that is that realistically, at a certain point of the game, there will be a lack of damage. Like, not saying that Ashe cannot be a good damage dealer, but she's in no mean comparable to Jinx and Yone when you think about consistent damage dealer or really high damage numbers. So the fact that you're taking the Ashe here, it's really to help your composition try and get ahead early, because you want to control the lane with the Ashe and the Thresh, allow for the Vi to get ahead early on, get a snowballing, and through snowballing you have the Vi that can be strong alone, and then with her ultimate pretty much focus on the Jinx. This Anivia here is important, I think, because you needed a consistent damage dealer that scales really, really strongly. But my worry with Justice Punch composition is that they're really reliant on an early game that goes good, because 3 of these 5 champions doesn't quite scale as you would want to. The Anivia and the Ornn scale really, really well. The Ashe is in a mid-range where she can scale because she's an AD carry, but it's not comparable to the Jinx. And the Vi and the Thresh that realistically can fall behind in comparison to their counterparts. Whereas they have 2 strong tanks in the side of Mint Caramel, they have a really strong AD carry in the form of the Jinx, and the Yone and the Wen that exists there to create chaos, to allow for the Jinx to not be the main focus, and instead you just go in as the Yone and the Wen and buy all the attention for yourself while the Jinx just cleans up the team fight. So I feel like this composition from Mint Caramel can be dangerous, if played correctly. Like this is a really execution heavy composition, but can be really, really dangerous in the later stage of the game.
Yeah, very, very easy of execution, or very easy to execute composition, right? You got the Mumu with that point, or with that hook, where you can just catch somebody out along with his AoE ultimate. Nautilus with his hook as well, he catch somebody out, and his point and click ultimate. So two very easy forms of CC to catch. You know, maybe an Ashe, maybe an Anivia slipping somewhere. Even somebody like a Vi who, you know, isn't going to be the most tanky member unless she's going, you know, full tank, of course, but
Yeah.
isn't going to be the most heavy building tank. She usually likes to go for a little bit of damage, a little bit of health. So if, you know, this Yone or Gwen, even the Jinx can get some auto attacks in on her. If they can lock her down, I do not see a fight going badly for Mint Caramel if they can, you know, get that ease of execution out, especially at the early stages of the game. Because as you were saying, they have the early game in their hands, right? You know, Nautilus, very strong support, likes to roam around at the early stages of the game. If you can combo with this Amumu, maybe you get the Yone moving around the map early on, you can definitely do some damage to this Vi and to this Anivia, or even the Ornn up there in the top lane who's going to want to be on an island. If you can get that Gwen ahead in that lane, I don't see a world where that Ornn is going to be able to scale into the late game.
Yeah, like I feel like that sums up pretty well what I'm thinking about with the composition from Mint Gaming. One of the things that I do find worrying, and it's kind of my main and pretty much only worry that I see with the composition with the Jinx particularly, is that you have 4 champions that go forward. They tend to focus on going forward, and the Jinx is a champion that you want to peel around. So there may be a situation where the 4 champions just leave the Jinx alone, and if they cannot find success while leaving the Jinx alone, the Jinx may just end up getting killed. Like if Vi has a point and clicks ultimate where she just ignores everyone else, focuses on the Jinx, and Jinx it's not that tanky of a champion. We know she's an AD carry.
Yeah.
So if she gets focused like that by a lot of ultimates, because you have the Ornn ultimate, the Ashe ultimate, and the Thresh potentially using a lot of area control with his abilities, then it can be really hard for the Jinx to play fights. And if you lose your main, one of your main damage dealers on the Jinx quickly, or she cannot be a part of the fight, then the Yone and the Gwen can be a little bit much more controlled. That's kind of my big worry. But I think that this composition should be executable by the side of Mint Gaming, and the Gwen and the Yone I just feel like can be such a huge, can be so impactful in this game, especially with how reliant the side of I'm sorry, I'm blanking on the name.
Justice Punch.
Of Justice Punch. Yeah, of Justice Punch are reliant on trying to snowball the game earlier on.
Yeah, Justice Punch definitely has to try and just kind of stave out that early game, right? Let that Ashe scale a little bit, let her get a couple items before she can really do some damage. But she is that lane bully down there, alongside a threat who can keep her safe. Can be a little bit difficult to gank them early on, especially with an Amumu. But, you know, if Mint Caramel sends 4 members down there, if they can get the Yone involved down there, if they can get the Gwen to TP down there on one of the waves, I could see it going really well for them. So I believe we are going to be sending it to break as we load in. I'm not entirely sure. Peapots? All right, for sure. So we're going into break. Again, this is Mint Caramel versus Justice Punch. We're going to see how it goes. For now, though, the matches are set. The draft is set, and we're going to be waiting for a little bit as we get through the spectator delay to get into this game. So we'll be right back with you guys.
In this gothic underground city, we all sin. If I bring a couple rounds with me, then we all win. I came back and brought the crown with me. The king's dead. Break your nexus and your neck, cause everybody's on your head.
Just like kick your butt, go run them up, then paint my nails. Never learned to raise my hand. Was too busy raising hell. Everything I know I am. You should go and save yourself. Thought you had my number, huh? Congratulations, played yourself.
Underground utopia, dynasties and dystopia. Fear is never an option, so dying is not a real phobia. I'm beating the odds, rising to every occasion. I never defeated the gods. Switch up the mind, nothing but champions coming. I'm rolling on one of those squad.
Hold still while I back that. Talk back till I snap back. This ain't brown, this that dark black. This that pitch black, jet black. Snap your ex, watch me give them flashbacks.
Pressures rising fast as lightning, they can't stop it now. If you ain't talking realness, then just change the topic now. They laughing at the top like they can't see the bottom. And they thought I needed help, but I got here without them. I am sharper than a pack of 100 razor blades. When the smoke clears out of here, but they name gon' fade. I'ma be here doing it my way. They said I should change it up, but what did I say?
Ooh, yeah, he mad. I'm racking up white diamonds. Don't be in the sky, you would swear the sun shining. Ooh, yeah, he mad. I'm racking up white diamonds. Don't be in the sky, you would swear the sun shining.
Hold still, call like back then. Talk back till it's not back. This ain't brown, it's that dark black. It's that pitch black, jet black. Snap your ex, watch me give them flashbacks.
I get that magic all on me, I feel like I'm Tracy McGrady. Enemy circle around me 360, I count them with 8. I've been equipped with the spirit beside me since I was a baby, just getting chaotic. I made me a product for causing the chaos right here when they ready. This gothic underground city, we all sin. If I bring a couple rounds with me, then we all win. I came back and brought the crown with me, the king's den. Break your nexus and your neck, cause everybody's on your head.
Ooh, yeah, he mad. I'm racking up white diamonds. Don't be in the sky, you would swear the sun shining. Ooh, yeah, he mad. I'm racking up white diamonds. Don't be in the sky, you would swear the sun shining.
We can talk.
I'm here.
Yeah. I'm still getting in, so.
Restart out the game or
I'm still not in, so I, I need to wait a little. Okay, I'm in at 0.
yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry, I blinked. Can we go back? 0.
All right, everybody, we are back straight into the game. Again, I'm Gundo, joined by TDS. We're going to be casting the mid-series of the day. Again, it is Mint Caramel here versus Justice Punch, and hopefully this is going to be one banger of a game. So, without further ado, we're going to be kicking this one off. Over here on the blue side, we do have Mint Caramel. In the top lane, we got Picle, Jungle, Cowsap Jr., HT Flex in the mid lane, Primate in the AD carry position, and Buddy's down there in the support role. So, and while on the red side, we do have Justice Punch. We got Orn up there in the top lane being played by Gab God, Fnatic in the jungle playing Vi, Scald in the mid lane playing Anivia, and we have Maelstrom and Silent Kick down there in the bot lane being playing this Ashe and Thresh combo. 5 point start from both teams, and we'll see how it turns out from here.
Yeah, going for the typical staring contest, not achieving much. And there's teams that do like to go for the level ones. I like the level ones, but it's not completely necessary. And I feel like for the side of mid gaming, they don't need to force. They have better scaling if they can just stabilize their lanes and go into the mid game equal on gold, then they are doing a really nice job to set themselves up for the later stage of the game. Meanwhile, on the other side, for Justice Punch, I talked about this. They need to try and get the snowball rolling, and I think it goes through whatever Fnatic on this buy achieves. Quick thing I want to mention, she's going lethal tempo. So she's
Ooh.
trying to fight and be able to kill someone fast.
And we're going to be having a brawler vibe this game, so Fnatic going to be pulling that one out. So you can see a red side start, no leash for himself over there in the top lane, or in the top side, while on the bot side we saw Cowsep Jr. getting leashed by his bot lane. So Primate and Butter is going to be getting to lane a little bit later than their counterparts, but I think they should be just fine down there. Looks like it's going to be turning out just all right, but looks like Vi here, Fnatic is going to be pathing towards his bot side to start it off. Might look for an early level 3 gank, but we'll see how that turns out. Right now, though, Flex trying to get some early priority in that mid lane.
I'm surprised that she's pathing towards the bot side, not because it's a bad idea, but I was expecting the fact that the urn should get pushed by the wind, that she just goes, ooh, okay.
Ooh, that's a flash bird in the bot lane, though. Silent Cake, though,
Counter.
try to pull it back with the flay. Main Butter's getting a little bit too low. He's going to flash away as well. Primate just shooting those pot shots in and out, but not able to do much else to help his bot lane out. But he did get that W out. The slow is down. Primate going to flash in. The Q auto. The heal comes out from the Ashe and it keeps him alive, but that bot lane is turning out to be the spicy position on this map. Vi is down here, though. We'll see how that turns out. Doesn't look like she's going to move just yet. They might have spotted it out, but we'll see if it... Fnatic is down here. Primate and Butters are going to have to back away. Primate may just have to go for this kill, but he is going to get taken out. But the Thresh gets the kill. Cake taking that first blood away from his team.
Yeah, really bad by a Silent Cake that he takes away the kill. But still, the first blood going in favor of Justice Punch. We talked about this. They need to try and get a snowball rolling, and they achieved that by killing the Jinx. And it all happened in a sequence of events that is really, really sad for me in gaming, because they went in when they achieved level 2 really well. They try and they blow the flash out of the Ashe, and then they re-engage from the Ashe and the Thresh. But realistically, it's fine. You can blow the flash from the Nautilus, it's not that bad. But Primate uses the cleanse thinking that it's a heal, and it loses the cleanse without actually achieving anything. And then they try to go once again and try and get a kill. That just sets them up for a really bad trade, and the buy to come in and get the kill really easily.
Yeah, Vi taking advantage of those earlier summoner spells burned. It was very good out of Fnatic. And the side of Justice Punch going to be feeling real good after that little bit of gold goes onto their support. Not ideal who they wanted their gold on, but the top side might be turning into a... In the middle lane, though, Fnatic tries to get onto Flex. Doesn't work out. He's going to have to blow his flash, but at the end of the day, Flex is going to get out of there just fine. Vi now going to be looking for her first recall, maybe going to look for her first couple of items to get that ball rolling a little bit further. And you can see, though, while that bot lane's gank was going off for the Vive, Fnatic is down a little bit in the CS. Cowsep getting a little, like about a 2-camp lead for himself so far in the jungle. Isn't going to be, the most influential thing, but if he can balloon that, XP lead and gold lead, maybe he can turn it into something else. But for now, the dragon is going to be spawning very shortly, and it does look like it's going to be a... I'm not sure what dragon that was. Fire Dragon. That's what it was.
Yeah, Inferno.
Yeah, so we'll see which team ends up going for that one first.
I think that with the lead and the control that should be getting the side of Justice Punch, I think that they should be the ones to get control over this dragon or over the area and secure the first dragon. The hook.
The hook goes out onto
way too far.
Silent King not able to do much here. Cowsep Jr. was in the area, but just not in the right position to kind of follow up on that just yet. For now, though, that bot lane hasn't ballooned too much more than what it was earlier. Just a little bit of a XP difference here. So far, the CS is almost dead even, only 2 separating the two. In the mid lane, though, different story. 10 CS up there for Flex against the Anivia. So Scalt going to do his best here to try and catch up in the CS department.
Yeah, really nicely done by Flex to keep up the gold lead and the CS lead in his favor, even with the gank. So doing a really nice job over there. Big lay with an interesting trade. Oh wait,
The trade goes out, but on the bottom lane, there's another trade coming out. Maelstrom going to have to begin going there. Lanzo, Cowsep Jr. picks him right up and takes him down. Fnatic can have a little bit of health left, but they get to get excited off, and Primate picks up 1. So that's 2 kills over to the side of Mid Karma over here. Now they can look for this dragon. So very, very good play out of the bot lane and the jungler to make that play happen.
Yeah, and just like that, the earlier advantage that the side of Justice Punch got evaporates. The Jinx gets a kill, the Vi dies as well, and the Moo gets a kill as well. So now the CS lead that he had onto the Vi is really important. Can begin sacking. They also secured this first dragon, and importantly, I really like that they took advantage of the lack of flash on the Ashe. The Ashe doesn't have a flash because of the first play, and they go into that bot lane to play against the Ashe and kill her. And I think it's a really important thing that they did. And at the end, nets a kill for the Jinx, which even though she dies at the start, now it's poised to get a better continuation of the game.
Yeah, and something here that we're going to be able to see is that Noon Quiver coming out for her. He's going to be able to build into her either her shield bow, Gale Forge, whatever she decides to go for. In the top lane, though, Pigley is getting a little low from this Ornn. Gab tries to follow with that Q. That second cast of the ultimate. The Q's going to come out. Fnatic picks up that one. Pigley is going to go down. Oh, man, that ult from Gab. You really underestimated how much damage that Ornn was going to do at the end there and ends up going down. But is it going to be the biggest deficit there? They do get to kill on him. He is down a little bit in CS, but they have been playing more towards this bot side with the side of Mid Carmel over here.
Yeah, and you say he underestimated the damage from the Ornn, but isn't that the story always with Ornn? You never expect the damage to come through and you just die like that. And I also think that Pigley has taken bad traits overall in the matchup. He's down CS. Not only is he down CS, but he has been taking some traits that are kind of questionable and not utilizing them win to its fullest of powers. So it is kind of damning for him, but it's still a win. As long as he can come back in a sense, or as long as he can get farm onto himself, he will become a champion later on. Oh,
another hook on the bot side. Silent Cake going to get locked up. That E does not land just yet, though. So isn't going to mean the most yet, but Primate and Butters are getting a whole lot of damage onto this bot side. So doing very well for themselves, getting priority in this lane once again. And honestly, with that Jinx lane, that's what you want to do. You want to be able to scale into this late game. You want to get your items. You want to start getting into some of these fights, getting involved. Fnatic looking on the top side. Just a lot of these little interactions going on around the map. The jungler over here from Justice Punch looking at every opportunity he can get. Fnatic trying to do his best. Does now have the ultimate, so those ganks are going to be much more deadly now that he has that.
Yeah, it's important, especially against champions like this Gwen and like this Jinx, that as long as you are able to throw down the ultimate from the buy, their escape pretty much gets completely negated. Unless they flash on time to be able to run away, or they preemptively flash. So I think that this is going to be really important to secure those kills and to be able to apply even more pressure on the lanes. And I think she's coming topside to fight. Oh,
yeah, there are a couple of fights going around. On the bot side, it's 2v2 so far. Cowsep is up there trying to gank for Pigley on the bot side. There is this hook going out. Fnatic looking for this one as well. They don't really realize that. That's a lot of damage down to Fnatic. Pigley picks up one. They could look for a second. Scalta is here. Can they look for the second one? Gab got it. He's getting very low so far. They are burning down from the W. Cowsep continue to look for a kill. Pigley getting a lot of damage down. That Q doing a bunch of damage so far. That Q's not gonna. That ultimate's not gonna land. Here goes God to God.
Pigley.
It's a whole lot of damage down. He heals. Can you even have it? No, he can't. Scald taking that one down, and an ultra mega dead rocket to the face onto Silent Cake. So a lot of good. I don't even know if I can say good. A lot of weird things just happened, and it ended up being 2 kills over for the side of Mint, and then 1 down over there on the side, or 2. It's actually ends up being a 2 for 2, right?
It's a 3 for 2. It's a 3 for 2 because on bot lane the Thresh dies. Because on top side it was a 2 for 2, and then the Thresh dies. But still, overall, I think great win for the side of Min. I even think that Flex, honestly, could have gone towards the top lane fight because he backed when the Anivia was roaming, and it was a 3v2, and still he had so much time to be able to move around and maybe get to the fight and clean up the Anivia. I feel like there was a small chance, but at the end, I don't blame him completely because it's still a 2 for 2, 2 in 2. Oh, wait.
Here goes engage onto the Anivia Skull. Not going to be able to do anything. Has to flash away, and Flex picks up another one in the mid lane, so maybe that roam didn't matter at all.
Yep.
Flex and Cowsep doing the work in the mid lane, getting that kill down, and now going to be able to move this Yone around the map as well.
Yeah, and now I can 100% confidently say that what happened in the last 4 minutes in those 3 fights have been completely in favor of Min because they get a kill on the important champions. Gwen gets kills, Jinx gets a kill, and Yone gets a kill as well. They are able to get their carries into a point back into the game where they can be kind of valuable. And the snowball that the Vi was trying to achieve and that the Ash and the Thresh were trying to accomplish as well, it's slowly but surely getting denied. And going into the mid game, they are not going to be as strong as that of the Jinx or of the Yone and Gwen. Oh, Billy?
Oh, yep. Piccolo trying to get this damage down is proccing that ultimate like a crazy man.
He failed.
Gab getting a bunch of damage down and has to just run away from that one. On the bot side, though, the Vi is picking onto the Dragon. Fnatic trying to look for that one. Piccolo and Calcep might be looking for this dive. They do have that Rift Herald available as well. If they can get that going down, Calcep goes down. He's going to get a lot of damage, and Piccolo is going to be able to find another one on this top side. So Calcep doing a very good job of getting his top lane ahead. On the bot side, they get that Dragon. But we'll see. Oh!
It's the same team. Yeah.
What a
But
lead
still-
on the ultimate.
Yeah, you're. Oh,
Okay, Primate is getting locked up here though. He's in a 1v4, or excuse me, 1v3. The hook goes out onto Butters, but isn't going to be the most just yet. A lot of damage goes out on him. Ultimate Enchanted Crystal Arrow goes out as well. Primate trying to do his best to get out of this one, but the shutdown goes out to him, and he gets taken out as well. Maelstrom doing a good job at continuing that push on, getting those autos down. On the top side, they might be getting a whole lot of plays, but they just lost 2 on the bot side, so it ends up being about an even trade in the gold. And now Gab going to do his best to try and stop this rotate.
Oh, he got it.
Able to stop it.
Okay, yeah, that's important. He got it at the end. But yeah, on the bot lane, I'm surprised by what Primate did. He tried to re-engage, but failed in the fight, didn't use the rockets. He didn't even have a lot of mana, but I think that he still had enough to be able to utilize the rockets. So the fact that he lacked so much damage because he didn't want to just utilize the rockets, steal more damage, it's surprising to me. And I think Butters tried everything to keep the Jinx alive. But Primate just ends up dying there. In the end, at least they traded the first turret and the 5 plates in favor of the Gwen, so it's still an overall net gold win for the side of Min, but it could have been even better if the Jinx didn't die.
Yeah, if the Jinx could have survived there, kept that gold lead, didn't give away that shutdown, it would have been much better for the state of this bot lane. Now Ash going to be able to claw her way back. Thresh picking up another kill, though, is going to mean he finishes up his support item. Allow him to do a little bit more damage when it comes to providing that CC in some of these fights. But overall, still, decent gold lead here for the side of Mint Carmel. They have about 3k gold in the lead. A lot of that coming from that top lane with that Rift Herald alongside those kills. And then that play earlier in the mid lane where they did take out Scald. So Mint Butters trying to do his best to get away. Maelstrom just pot-shotting in there with the Ash. One of the most annoying champs to get away from just because of her passive slow. But here we go, another move from the bot lane. Calcep is going to be looking, but they do spot them out. Caos, does get hooked, but it isn't going to mean the most just yet.
He doesn't care. He's just willing to walk forward, get hooked. It's fine. I have cleanse. I have an Nautilus. I'm not scared about you guys.
Yeah, definitely not playing fearful right now. Knows his tanks are in the area. Piccolo continuing to pressure on this top side. Does have his Riftmaker finished alongside that Sunfire for the orb being finished up there. Gab God going to do his best to neutralize his lane as best as he can. You can see they're picking up that Thornmail as well. Or excuse me, that Bramble Vest. But TP's coming out. Silent Cake going to try to do his best to get away here, but they might just have to give away their support. And Silent Cake going to be the sacrificial lamb here for the side of Justice Punch. Primate going to pick up another one. Just who you want that gold on.
Yeah, it's going into the important members. The ones that are getting the gold are the carries, and there's 3 carries, so you pretty much cannot go wrong if you give the gold towards them. What I'm surprised though is that they went for that kind of teleport play without going for without the dragon being up or trying to commit much more to get more kills. Like, I like the idea.
There's on the bot side, though. Putter's trying to do his best. They do get that tower, though, so it's going to be pretty good. Primate continuing to push forward, though. Change Crystal Arrow plus the Vi ultimate. And ATP going down as well. There goes the curse with the Sad Mummy. Calcep going to try to block and carry. Fnatic flashing onto him. Gab finally it's continuing to engage. And Calcep trying to get another one back. He does get that one in the end. So it's a 1-for-2 so far, but Calcep going to be going down as well very shortly. Scalt is here as well.
Dead, yeah.
Can't do anything. This is just a very, very dead Mummy. And now, who are they going to give it away to? It is Scalt. So getting their mid lane involved, getting him another kill, and side of mid Carmel going to be feeling a little bit painful after that one. Did get their
Yeah,
cheeks ran in a little bit.
Yeah, they trying to go for the play. I really like the first idea from Batters because he's running Hex Flash. He doesn't care if he uses the flash. Like for him, using the flash is it's okay. And he went for a really good target, blowing the flash out of Maelstrom, blowing I think even the heal as well, and forcing the Ash to run away. They even secured the turret, but Primate, I hope not trying to mean anything
Oh.
bad. Oh wait,
Peakley coming out here,
Peakley.
does not use the W just yet. He's gonna try his best to survive here. He's gonna get damaged.
Oh, he's alive.
Flashes away, the ignite is on him, but it isn't gonna be enough to kill him here. Butter's trying to do his best to peel for his AD carry, get him in position to continue that fight, but it doesn't look like much is gonna be able to happen here. Primate is gonna have that Ultra Mega Death Rocket soon, so we'll see if he ends up fishing for a kill with it. But for now, does really only mean Peakley flashing away there from the mid lane. That Gwen is not gonna have that for the next fight, and that Dragon is spawning very shortly here.
Yeah, and I think from the side of Min, they have shown really nice ideas when going for fights together. But when they are kind of alone in the map, apart from Flex, they kind of let themselves get caught up in the moment and end up getting picked off and dying without needing to. They will secure this dragon, though the buy is not even close. And unless the Ornn steals it amazingly,
They might be able to secure it, but it looks
Where are
like
they running?
a Justice Punch. I thought they might look for the fight, but that TP there from Flex is going to be enough to get away. But the Flash ultimate there coming out, the fate sealed, and that's the Maelstrom's fate being sealed there by the Yone. Good job by Flex to catch him out there. No hesitation with that Flash ultimate. But that is the Primate getting locked up under tower here. Flex going to have to do his best to try and peel for
Oh,
him.
the
Get that Vi off of him. We'll see.
Primate.
Fnatic able to find that kill in the end. Flex gonna do and take that lantern out of there. I've got over here on the top side though, fighting Peakley. It ends up being 1-for-0 there, 1-for-1 overall, trading their AD carries on both sides. So Maelstrom, getting caught out there and Primate walking a little bit too far up against that Vi.
yeah, I think both AD carries really not showcasing the best of positionings. Getting picked off is not ideal. I think Primate playing a little bit too much towards your name. You shouldn't be working like that or playing like that, ideally. But it's a still for Mint dying like that and giving away small bits of gold. It's not bad for them because they are still in the gold lead and their composition, even though it looks like it's a lot of champions that don't really can go that well compared to an Anivia, maybe or an Ornn. They scale quite well. They have a Jinx, one of the best scaling AD carries in the game. They have a Yone, a champion that gets stronger and stronger with a crit. And they have a Gwen that is pretty much an AD carry in the form of a melee mage. So those champions can scale quite well the more items they get and the longer the game goes on.
Yeah, these champs really just going to be waiting for their second, third items to really, really come online, start taking over some of these fights. We saw it earlier with Peakley. He was able to almost 1v3 up there on the top side after his jungler had gone down and made it look really easy for himself. Of course, once he does get a couple more items under his belt, gets that Nashor's Tooth, which he's aiming for. And once we see Primate also picking up his Phantom Dancer, which he's looking for as well, is going to be in a really comfortable position here. But for now, you can see that first Ornn item already coming out, the Immortal Shield Bow being upgraded by GabGod. So again, we always tend to kind of glance over that. The Ornn is going to be a permascaler, is going to be able to provide this extra gold value for his carries and for his team. So as later stages of this game come on, both teams are just going to be continuing to scale. Scald here, as you were talking about in the draft, it's going to be very good. That was a good dodge out of Flex, so a fight's going to be breaking out here. The Fate Shield goes on to 2. Can't even get happen. Goes back with the E. 2 to Q. He's going to
That's so close.
Oh my gosh, almost made it happen, but goes down in the end in that 1v4. Tried his best to take down one with him, but couldn't make it happen there. Flex, that was some clean play, but when you're up against 4 people, it's kind of hard to do anything.
With Flash, I believe honestly he could have pulled off the outplay and got at least a kill. I think that with a Flash he can secure that. But yeah, it was 1 against 4. It was going to be hard, and at the end it doesn't come through, sadly.
Yeah,
Did they catch Ornn?
They might be able to. It is a.
Oh no! They didn't.
Oh wow! Almost caught him out there. Cowsep here looking to get aggressive here. It is Yamumu versus the Vi, so Cowsep is going to be taking the brutal amount of damage from here. He's by himself though here. Cowsep can't really get away.
I think they lose this fight, yeah.
As well, and that's a dead mummy there on the bot side. Hero, GabGod did TP in here to try and look for this fight continuation. Peakley getting real low as well. Can they try to get to heal back? But he can't really do it. That healing cut already played effect there for GabGod. Fnatic can continue this chase here. Is trying to get away, buy some distance between
Jinx
him.
cannot flash. She's
Side.
dead.
Primate can't get away at all. And Piccolo trying to do his best to run away as well. Fnatic trying to get on top of him, but they are going to give that gold away towards the Ashe. A shutdown going over to Maelstrom.
That was one of the biggest question mark fights I've seen yet. Like, what? You're fighting when you know your Yone is dead and your AD carry and jungler are alone inside of the jungle without vision of the rest of the team. That's what, like, that fight was so badly taken that it was pretty much over before it started. It was going to go bad to be bad, and it ended up being bad. I think main need to be much more careful about their decisions because yes, they can scale really well, but they cannot just try and throw themselves into a bad team fight because Anivia is also a champion that can scale quite well. And Ashe, yes, Ashe is not the greatest of scaling AD carries, but she can still deal quite a bit of damage. She's not just a zero on the left. She's going to be an important champion as well.
Yeah, her damage for sure cannot be ignored, especially as she goes to continue to pick up these items. You can see that Lord Dominic's already picked up as well. And I think we were talking about it in the draft earlier. These champs want to fight around those tight corridors, and they were fighting straight into the jungle of Justice Punch. So Mint really want to find these open spaces where they can catch people out, where they can get that space for the Jinx, where they can allow Yone to get a flank off. So they're going to have to do a little bit better in their positioning around the map and around the enemy jungle to try and find one of these fights. But you can see it doesn't really need too much in the gold department. It is still very, very close. Mint is going to get the heads up here and go for this dragon first. They are getting it really well.
There's no smite on
yeah, there's
side.
no smite. And we'll see who picks it up. It is going to be Mint picking that one up, getting their third one now on Soul Point. So whatever they go for here from here, Flex looking for that one, but he doesn't have enough range to get onto that.
I think the old team maybe would have been able to. Like, I can understand Flex not taking it like you're saying. It's probably super. Oh.
Cowstep on to start it up here. The old, he's going to come out there from the orange. Flex getting real already. Going to get all that damage down. Flex trying to do his best to survive. Goes on to him. The move ulti in the back line. Flex trying to do his best to continue his chase, but Primate is untouched on the other side. Piccolo, meanwhile, is trying to fight somebody else on the other side as well. Gab God going to get caught out. Orn is down. Primate continuing to chase here. He's getting those shots out, and Primate going to continue for this one. Does get locked up there. The plans instantly to continue the fight. Primate going to go down, though. Goes a little bit too far in that 1v2, but overall, it is a net positive win there for the side of Mint. Do get 3 kills just for losing their one over there on the side of the Jinx down there on the bot side.
But honestly, that was a great fight. The re-engage by Cowstep was so good, and they played around the fact that the Ashe wasn't close. They engaged when they knew the Ashe wasn't inside because she was on bot side. So that fight was really nicely planned by Mint. But even though the Jinx dies, they can go to Baron. The Nivea and the Ashe are low health. They cannot go towards Baron because they get engaged on. They don't have flash, so they cannot escape. You can force that Baron. Gwen and Yone deal good damage to Baron, same as a Mumu. I feel like it was a wasted opportunity by Min. But they respecting the potential maybe of something bad happening. Also, the Hex Gates kind of make those stakes a little bit more scuffed. But overall, I think that the fact that they didn't take it, it's a lost opportunity, but it's not something that will be inherently bad in the long run, especially because they were able to secure back a bit of the gold that they were giving away previously.
Yeah, after those couple of lost fights they had earlier in the enemy jungle, they had given a bit of gold, as you just said. But yeah, definitely a little bit of a missed opportunity. We'll see what they do from here. Mint definitely having a little bit more pressure on the map. You can see all those wards in the enemy jungle of Justice Punch over there. But now Silent Cake and Maelstrom going here, doing their duty, clearing out these wards. Going to try and get some vision control around this Baron, because they know, as you were saying, that Mint has a pretty good Baron take. You get a lot of percent health damage with the with the Gwen, as well as a lot of damage out of Primate with his crits, and Flex as well with his critting. So Cowstep Jr. being able to just soak all that damage, not really mind that Baron's damage, is going to be able to do that. So they might be able to look for this. They know the Thresh is backing, I believe, with that with that Scryer's Bloom that was just hit, but it doesn't look like they're going to go for anything too crazy here. It looks like they're just going to be hovering around it, trying to pressure the side of Justice Punch into their waiting arms.
Yeah, it feels much more like they are going to try and go around with themselves, try and be as close together as team as possible. And both teams have pretty much the same idea, because look at the minimap. The 5 members are in so much close proximity. The engage.
And the engage goes out to Butters, but all Fnatic's going to be able to do is get a little bit of damage. Exactly. Not much else besides that little bit of a damage going down on him. Skull going to be picking up this blue buff, so both teams looking to want to fight here. Primate having a red buff as well. Pretty much all these champs getting ready for the next brawl, wherever it's going to be, and it might just be at this dragon, which is spawning very shortly.
It might be the dragon. It's 130, but I think that Mint is doing a bad job not trying to play around their teleports. They have two good split pushing champions and not really putting that much pressure on the split push. Like I understand the threat of a engage onto the Jinx is huge, but as long as the Amu and the Nautilus are around, they have enough CC to try and protect the Jinx. I think that you have to play with the Gwen and the Yone as aggressively as possible in the side lane, and they are trying to collapse on the Gwen, it seems. She's running away, okay.
You know, I still think that Pikley would be a better matchup against his Ornn. They sent the Yone up there, or the Yone down there to try and pressure that Ornn off that tower. But, you know, he has been stacking up a bunch of armor now, has that Sunfires, has that Warden's Mail, so I'd much rather see Pikley, you know, with his percent health damage, with that AP facing off against him, but it looks like it's working out just fine so far. Really looks like they just want to fight for this dragon, so we'll see what happens. It is going to be up here shortly, just 3 minutes left for that one.
Yeah, the problem is that they were clearing vision on top side instead of securing a little bit more vision on bot side where the dragon is. They have two wards there to kind of spot in the pit and also in the jungle, but I feel like you could have cleared a little bit more to try and force for yourself.
Ooh. The hook goes a little wide, almost hits Gab God there, but Silent Cake and Maelstrom trying to get some vision control on this dragon pit. Gab God just trying to be in a position where he could stand in front of his carries. Meanwhile, you know, Mid can really play this easily. They could just let the dragon go and go towards the Baron. At this point in the game, they're up 2 already, so they could just give this one, but it looks like they just want to going in. The ult comes down, Ornn Horn comes down, isn't going to be able to land just yet, doesn't go landed. They got the inhibitor, they're just turning this fight. And he goes private as well. They're going to start in the pot shots. Pikley in the front line, continuing the chase as well. They are going to get away. The W goes wide. The flash over the wild Maelstrom. He wants that kill, finds it, and mid-gaming, secure the win on that fight and get the Dragon Soul as well. They're going to be looking real good. They can even pin on the Baron as you're seeing. Triple kill there for Primate, Pikley, and every single member on the side of Mint, especially Primate, Flex, you know, Pikley doing their damage, getting it all down, and Cowstep and Butters there just setting up for their carries.
Yeah, they fight. They get everything they wanted. They do an amazing job clearing the fight. And I gotta say, Butters and Cowstep Jr., the focus onto Scald on the Anivia was so good. She died immediately, and the Anivia didn't do anything. She wasn't able to achieve anything in that fight.
Yeah, the Anivia really couldn't do much. You could see the flash still available for herself. Wasn't able to do anything. Gets destroyed through her passive, and now picking up that Zong is going to be looking to, you know, do a little bit more in the next fight because she really was just a non-factor in that one. Couldn't really get, you know, set up in that corridor as she wanted. She was damaging the dragon, and it ended up costing him dearly over there on the bot side. But Dragon Soul now for the side of Mint Gaming.
As well as Baron.
Baron as well. So this push from the side of Mint is going to be very, very strong. They have 2 strong side laners that they could send out to either side and continue to, you know, 1-3-1 or 1-4, whatever they feel like doing right here in this point of the game.
Yeah, now the setup can be a little bit. They can, like you're saying, set the 1-3-1, or they can try and set it up to go for a 4-1 with just to try and protect the Jinx a little bit more, because we've seen the engages when the Jinx is isolated in a sense where the other members are. It's harder for them to protect her, and the Jinx ends up dying. But I feel like you're saying, that 1-3-1 is probably the better option. The problem is that it's mistimed, and they only just got to the wave while the other 2 waves are crashing on the bot side. So I feel like if they can time that a little bit better, it could be a better push.
Yeah, they are still going to have this Baron for a little bit while longer, so I'd like to see that. But you can see from that fight, from that Baron, 8k gold up now. The carries of Mint Gaming feeling real good after that one. You see their Jinx having her Kraken, having her Lord Dominix, having that Rune Ant, now going towards that Infinity Edge is going to be very, very strong in this next upcoming fight. Flex here, just pressuring onto Ornn, getting so much damage down, even under the tower. And now the 3-man squad from Mint is going to try their best to stop this from happening. Fnatic, though, going to push them off of it just with that Q. Oh, the hook comes out. Fnatic going to get locked up as well. That's a lot of damage coming down from Primate. Oh, there he goes. The curve of the side money. Primate going to continue the chase. A lot of damage down. It's a triple there for Primate already. The Fake Seal comes out as well. Can he get this quad? It is going to be the steal there. Wow. know if Calcium thought that would happen, it would have been the Penta, but it is going to be mid-gaming here. Angels are killing themselves that team fight win and now turn this one into a game win as well. So coming out swinging early in this one, it looked a little bit shaky in the mid-game, but at the later stages around these fights, oh gosh. They can still have this one though. They got two, attack speed champions still. They are going to be able to blow up this Nexus 30-minute game here from the side of Mid Carmel, picking up the first win in the series against Justice Plunge. And I believe, with that being said, it is going to be a 3-game series. So I think we're going to be sending it off to break here soon. But we can see, I'm going to check these damage charts real quick. 26k out of Primate at the end of that game. So definitely being the carry that his team needed there. Honestly, the whole side of Mid Carmel, they're playing well throughout that game. Not really giving up at any point, even after they had given a bunch of kills. But doing a real good job to close that one out. All right, and with that being said, guys, we are going to be sending it to a quick break as we load up for the second game of this series. We'll be right back.
Wake up to the sounds of the silence that allows for my mind to run around with my ear up to the ground. I'm searching to behold the stories that I told when my back is to the world that was smiling when I turned. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Look out for yourself. My enemy. Look out for yourself. But I'm ready. Your words up on the wall as you're praying for my phone, and the laughter in the holes and the names that I've been called. I stack it in my mind and I'm waiting for the time when I show you what it's like to be worse fit in the mind. Tell you you're the greatest, but once you turn, they hate us. Oh, the misery. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy.
hoping that somebody pray for me. I'm praying that somebody hope for me. I'm staying where nobody supposed to be. Posted, being a wreck of emotions. Ready to go whenever you let me know. The road is long, so put the pedal into the flow. The energy on my trail, my energy unavailable. I'ma tell him I still away go. Hey, when I fly on my drive to the top, I've been out of shape, thinking out the box. I'm an astronaut. I blasted off the planet, rock that caused catastrophe, and it matters more because I had it. Now I had I thought about wreaking havoc on an opposition, kinda shocking. They want a static with precision. I'm automatic, quarterback. I ain't talking second. Pack it up on panic, batter up. Who the baddest? It don't matter, cause we is your
Everybody wants to be my enemy. Spare the sympathy. Everybody wants to be my enemy. Oh, the misery.
All right, everybody, we are back for game 2 of the Justice Punch versus Mint Gaming Caramel. So we're here, back again. I'm here with my boy TDS. We're still here, trying to bring you this game 2, and we're gonna be getting right into it. They can see these bands are going turbo fast.
Yeah, and adapting already from the side of Justice Punch, taking away the Gwen, which I think wasn't that huge of a problem. Maybe that turnaround in the top lane, but I feel like the Yone and the Amumu shift a little bit too much in comparison to that of the Gwen. And they banned away the Aurelia as well, the Pike as well, so the same bans from Mint Caramel, but the Corki gets open, and they immediately take it. But I think they are willing to take the trade because they wanted to take the Jinx, was my initial idea, but they are hovering the Lucian, so maybe they go for the Lucian Nami instead.
Yeah, Lucian Nami, also a very strong duo down there on the bot side. Corki being locked in there from Justice Punch. You can see the swap flip there as well, or the side flip as well. Justice Punch over here on the blue side this time around. And Lucian there. I'm really excited to see if they're going to pull out the Nami, because that bot lane is one of the most annoying to deal with. You get so much extra damage there from the Nami E. You can pressure a lot with her W, and overall just do a whole lot with her. But it looks like they're going to be locking in the Victor here, which is exciting to see. Getting these arcane champs again. Doing some promo there for their show. Again, there's the Jinx. Go ahead, sorry.
No. That I'm okay with what you're saying, and that's the thing. Like, taking away the victory is not bad, but you know that the Corki is pretty much mid. Like, that's pretty much a given. It's been ages since Corki was AD carry, so you're giving one of the best mid laners and one of the best AD carries for Lucian, and okay, Victor, one of the best mid laners as well, but for Lucian, it's a trade that I just feel so wrong by the side of Min. Like I don't think that's achieving anything, and they aren't even going for the Nami, so not even going for the strong bot lane duo that is Lucian Nami. They're just going for champions maybe they want to play, but I've yet to see cohesion.
Yeah, it looks like this draft is a little bit more sporadic, opting in for maybe some more comfort here. I know Piccolo does like to play the set there. Flex might be opting in for this Victor matchup. Maybe he feels comfortable against that Corki there. The Orn, though, being locked in again for Justice Punch. So we'll see how that turns out for them. He looked like he did a pretty good job neutralizing as best as he could until the rest of the side of Mint showed up there on the top side. But overall, though, it looks like this draft is turning out to be, things that both of these teams wanted. Justice Punch, it feels like, though, is getting a little bit better in the champ department, like you said, with that Corki, with that Jinx, two of the better champs right now in the current meta. The Amumu being banned away, though, and the Braum going to be coming out. Braum Lucian is also a very good combo on that bot side.
Yeah, for me, Lucian, if there's two champions that I will excuse as tanks that you can take with Lucian, and those are Braum and Alistar. Those are the two I'm okay with you taking Lucian with, because you can pop the passive still with Lucian and be effective. The Nami taking away now, you pretty much, with the Braum taken, you don't need to take the Nami either, but Nami can be a good booster still for Jinx and Corki, so it's not an overall bad decision. But I think that overall, when I look at the composition that has already been formed by the side of Justice Punch, it just feels much more cohesive. They have the 80 carries that will carry later on. They have the Nami support to be able to provide for those 80 carries, and they have the frontline in Dior and the Trundle. And even Trundle can disposition really well, so even if he lacks CC, he has a good displacement ability to bother the Lucian and the Victor, and even the other champions. So I think that this is just an improved version of what they drafted last game. On the other side from Mint Gaming, with the last big Jarvan, there's a lot of early and mid game focus, and a lot of attempt to try and go in as hard as possible, even with the Lucian and Victor. Because if they don't kill the Jinx and the Corki with the Jarvan and the Zed diving in as hard as possible, then I just feel like it's going to be so hard to be able to play team fights, especially
Yeah.
with the difference in range. There's so much more range in the side of Justice Punch than on the side of Min Gaming.
Yeah, Mint Gaming's composition feels a lot more hard engaged. We kind of have to fly in there, get in their faces with the Lucian, with that Braum. Jarvan had said as well. So the onus is really going to be on the side of Mint Gaming to kind of start these fights off. Kind of felt like it was the other way around last game, but now Mint Gaming going to have the ball in their court, have to throw that around, have to start these fights up themselves. But have opted in for some pretty strong lanes there. Lucian Braum can get some advantages early on. Set does pretty good into some of these tanks as well. If you're body slamming an Ornn or a Trundle into this enemy backline, it could be very, very detrimental for their side of their carries. But the side of Justice Punch does have this range, as you were talking about. Nami is going to do a great job at buffing up her carries, keeping the tanks alive as well, and just providing a whole lot of utility in that backline.
Yeah, that's probably the main idea out of this. The fact that you get the extra utility with the damage as well overall. I think that it's what they were aiming for, certainly, which they couldn't achieve last game, but this game I feel like can be a little bit better. I'm thinking now, just watching a little bit on the potential lane dynamics and what we may see, is that there may be some early ganks coming from the Jarvan, especially towards top lane and bottom lane. Like, I feel like those two are going to be the most gank-centric places for the Jarvan, because the Corki is going to be harder to gank. The W is pretty much an easy escape. And if you can snowball this Lucian or snowball this Zed, then that's kind of your way to try and win the game as Mint Gaming. I feel like that's their main condition to try and make this game as easy for them. It's to just try and snowball earlier on, because if not, it can fall into the same situation where, because Justice Punch didn't snowball last game, they weren't able to be able to cover against the Jinx and the Yoni and the Gwen, and they just fell over.
Yeah, honestly, I think these fights, this pressure in the early game could go either way. If the Trundle gets on the map first, starts influencing that Corki lane, maybe goes to that bot lane, starts influencing that Jinx, getting her ahead, we could see a very, very different story than last game, right? If it could be actually just flipped, where the enemy Jinx is getting fed this time around, and Lucian and Braum are just playing from behind. So it's going to be up to Primate and Butters to try and get the advantage solely by themselves before that Trundle can get down there, try and get some ganks down there, try and get his Jinx ahead, as well as on Scald, right? You're playing this Corki, you need to scale. You're playing Ornn, you need to scale. Jinx as well, you need to scale. So all these champs have a similar idea, so it's going to be really up to Justice Punch this time around. They are down in the series so far, so it's going to be really important for them to try and claw their way back, try and survive a little bit longer this time around.
Yeah, their idea for playing this game at least is going to be much different from the last one. It's just not give away the early game. Like, you don't need to get super far ahead, and you can get kills and try and outplay and try and snowball if possible, but realistically that's not your real condition. By mid game and late game, your champions like the Jinx, like the Corki, like the Ornn will activate, and that's what you're playing for. So like you're saying, Fnatic has the duty of trying to impact the early game, but also make it so that you can get your carries towards the late game. That's his whole idea, I feel, and that's different towards what they had in the previous game, and this is what they need to achieve at least to try and win this game.
Yeah, it is what they're gonna have to try and do to claw their way back. Honestly, I feel like this game is gonna be very jungle reliant, right? It's gonna be decided by which jungler influences these lanes first. If Cowstep can get this Zed ahead, that Ornn is gonna be worthless, right? If Cowstep can get that Lucian ahead, that Jinx is gonna be worthless. On the other side, though, if Fnatic can influence both of those lanes, or any of these lanes, honestly, on that Trundle, get their Corki in a safe position where they can scale, get the Jinx in a good spot where she can get to 1 to 2 items, as we saw last game, where she can just be the difference maker in fights, it's going to be a different story than last game, right?
Yeah.
But again, I feel like Mint Gaming just have a little bit of an easier composition to execute. They don't have to rely on scaling as much. They can kind of pressure the objectives early on with that Jarvan, with the Lucian. Braum is set up to kind of just block and peel for his team. Again, some good interactions here. The Braum can just flat out negate the Ornn ultimate, can flat out negate the Nami ultimate. So a good decision here out of the side of Mint to go for this pick in the bot lane. because it provides a lot for their composition and in terms
Yeah.
of just defending out of engages.
Yeah, importantly impactful and can be game changing, like you're saying, the fact that he can deny some of those ultimates and even deny damage from the Corki and the Jinx. Like taking away a little bit of those two damage dealers can just make it easier for the Lucian to try and get something out, for the Victor to get his full combo out, or for the Set to just be able to get on top of the two carries and kill them. So I think that this ROM may play a pivotal role, and I think that Batters in the previous game played so well, and I hope that he can execute as well with the ROM.
Yeah, I agree 100%. I thought Butters was a great reason as to why that bot lane got ahead, as to why that Jinx stayed alive in a lot of those fights, even though Primate was going a little bit monkey last game, as his name implies. At some points, he did turn it on at the later stages, did focus up, and allowed Butters to kind of just peel him off, start those fights off with those hooks, and provide that defense that he really needed as that Jinx last time around. But this time he's on a little bit of a kind of different champion, right? Lucian does not play in the same way Jinx does. He has to get up close and personal, has to be in those tighter spaces against the enemy champions. But with all that being said, TDS, I think we're ready to send it to a break. We're ready to start loading into this one, and we'll be right back in a few minutes to get you right back into that cast.
This ain't where the legends come from. You know what a hero looks like. Pretty little flower, won't you sit back down and go play nice? So keep talking, keep laughing. One day you wish you had it. Other people on fire, fire. Maybe it's time they meet their dragon. If you're gonna hold me down, you're not gonna let me in into your castle walls. None of you can keep them. 'Cause if I gotta burn it all down, then we'll burn it all down. Oh my, look at who winds up bigger this time. And if I gotta break it all down, then let's break it all down. Bye, playing with fire, and we'll burn it all down. This is where the bruises come from. This is when the game gets ugly. These blood, sweat, tears keep running. Licking my plate 'cause I'm so hungry. Keep talking, keep laughing. One day you'll see what happens. Other people on fire, fire. It's about time they meet their dragon. If you're gonna hold me down, you're not
All right, everybody, we're straight back into the game. Again, we are bringing you back this match of Mint Gaming Caramel versus the side of Justice Punch. And we'll see how this one turns out. So far, we got over here on the blue side, we have Justice Punch. It is going to be them versus the side of Mint Gaming Caramel on the red side over there. For the blue side here, in the top lane, we got Gab God again playing the set. Fnatic in the jungle playing Trundle. Scald in the mid lane playing Corki. Maelstro in the bot lane playing Jinx there. And Silent Cake playing Nami over there. And it is looking like a 5-man invade here from the side of Mint Gaming. While they're doing this, I will sound them off. Peakley in the top lane playing Set. Cowsep Jr. in the jungle playing Jarvan. Flex in the mid lane playing Victor. And Primate and Butters down there in the bot lane playing Lucian Braum.
Yeah, and sadly the level 1 doesn't achieve that much. It was a cute attempt. Like I like the idea, but it doesn't net them that much apart from some vision and to secure that what the Trundle may try and achieve. But with that idea, maybe they can play around the spot lane. And the Jarvan is kind of posturing towards going to the lane instead of the Croc, it seems.
Yeah,
He's going on the river instead. Interesting.
Yeah, interesting choice here. But it looks like it's going to turn out the same. I believe we are all at the same time, right, guys? But it looks like a red side start here from the side of Justice
Maybe
Punch.
a little bit ahead.
Yeah, I think you might be a little bit ahead there, TDS. I don't know if we're going to resync here in a second, but regardless, we can talk about how this game is going right here. Butters there on the bot side trying to get some early, engage down there, trying to do his best at securing his, Lucian an early lead. Going to be playing up in that lane. Now we're going to have to do his best to, secure that against that. Overall, though, both teams looking like they wanted or got what they wanted through this draft, as we were talking about earlier. And it seems like Butters, opting in for this Braum pick here was very, very smart out of him. Primate and Butters did hit that level 2 early on. Gonna have to use that W to get away from the side of that Braum and Lucian.
Yeah, the Lucian Braum being as aggressive as you typically want them to be. They try to go in and try and be as effective as possible. Don't achieve much yet, but they are able to gain the push and the control of the wave, and I think that that's important to later gank potentials from the Jarvan.
Yeah, and allowing themselves to be able to do that. Piklay is going to have the advantage here, but he is going to be getting ganked here. Fnatic trying to do his best to get on top of him. Does have to blow the flash up there, but it isn't going to be in the most just yet for that set. So we'll see how that turns out. Gab God right now, though, trying to get an advantage early on that top side, and Fnatic trying to help him out as well. Not trying to be a similar story as last game.
Yeah, important that he doesn't die immediately on that. Yes, the flash may be
Oh.
blown, but he
Another
does
ping
achieve
onto
to
the
run away
top
full.
side here. Piklay gonna do his best here. Fnatic is getting engaged on now. Try to do his best to get the damage down. Piklay though, they are gonna pick up that first blood. So Calcep Jr. going up there, backing up his top laner, and now the side of Mint Gaming is gonna get that first blood into their hands.
Yeah, and
So
with
for-
a nice execution, getting the kill onto the Trundle, it's really important. And especially the one that gets it is the Jarvan, because you may think that said getting that it's really, really good. It is really good, don't get me wrong, but the Jarvan also does get a lot of value getting that first blood, especially earlier on. He can now try and provide more support to the rest of the map, and it doesn't mean that the set will still not control this matchup. He typically wins this matchup, so it's not like he needs that extra kill to be able to win it. But the Jarvan now can impact the map even better.
Yeah, the Jarvan is gonna be able to use that little bit of gold to get around the map, and I think we are gonna be doing a resync here. So TDS, if you want to go to 4, we can resync and get it started again.
Yeah, let's be should be at 4 now. We'll give me a sec. Uh, I'm now at 4. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm good. All right.
Okay.
Thank you guys for bearing with us there. We're right back into it though, and we are right back into the action here. So again, it seems like that top lane gank from the side of Fnatic was going well until Calcep showed up and turned that one around. So with that little bit of gold, he's going to be able to pressure around the map and maybe even look for this first dragon early on.
Yeah, it worked until it didn't work. And like you're saying, the first dragon can be a nice point of attention for the side for both teams, but more particularly for the side of main gaming, because their composition can spike earlier, and they would like to spike earlier. So getting that win condition, that in the form of the dragons and potentially the dragon soul earlier on, can be really fundamental for them. And both youngers, I'm not sure if they were meeting. Wait,
Yeah, they've been over there, but Calcep just yoinked
yeah,
that one
he
away.
stole it.
A sick play out of Calcep to just show up, take the scuttle crab, and then start his own grop. So good out of him. Piklay going to continue to try and pressure on this top side, though, realizing he has that advantage. Is about 300 gold up over there for himself, but it isn't going to be, the biggest factor just yet. Both teams, though, looking to, get an advantage early, as we were talking about earlier in the draft. They might have just realized Calcep Jr. is here, but
Yeah.
maybe not. Butters is going to go in. Does get that passive down. The Winter's Bite is going to get procced. They are going to be able to
she's
find it. The hook goes out, but then he is stopped by the Fishbones. It's stopped by that E from Maelstrom. So good E out of him to stop Calcep from getting any farther in. That could have ended up being a kill for themselves if they got that one off. But Calcep Jr. still hanging around, and Fnatic looking to go towards his top side now.
Yeah, great play by the Jinx to stop the attempt from Calcep and denying the potential kill. They did blue both the flash and the heal out of the bot lane from the side of Justice Punch, but still, they are able to get an important summoner's lead. And oh wait,
We could be seeing some more action down here. The 4-man squad from the side of Justice Punch is moving down here. They are pinging onto it. We'll see if they can get it done, though. Here is Fnatic, he's going to get the E down. Calcip
Oh,
trying
they
to do
failed.
his best. The TP is coming out. Can they make it happen? They do not get the kill down onto the Braum.
Oh, no.
Fnatic going to the back line. Piccolo is here, though. Is he going to be able to find it? That's a bunch of rare health bars. They do end up finding it in the end. It's a 3-0. Justice Punch trying to make it happen, but they just couldn't up there. And that TP is going to be feeling real good for the side of Mint Gaming.
Yeah, and what could go wrong went wrong for the side of Justice Punch. The attempt was okay. I really like the idea. Going for a 4-man gang, they even have the teleport at the ready for the Ornn if he wanted to join. And they were thinking that the Jarvan wasn't there. But even if he was there, if they execute that better, it probably wouldn't matter. The Jarvan failed the combo. Oh, Cowsep.
Oh, Cowsep could be in a bad spot here. He's going to get shut down there.
Why is he doing it
And
alone?
Corky's,
I need to understand this.
Yeah, that was a little bit of an interesting play there.
He
Out of
doesn't.
Cowsep.
He doesn't even. Yes, he doesn't have Valkyrie. What?
And now Flex is just going to
Okay.
walk over, pick up a kill as well. So while on the side of Justice Punch do end up getting that dragon and getting a kill out of that, it is going to be Scald going down as well. So not going to be the best spot there for the side of Justice Punch. They are still down quite a bit in gold, almost 2.5k now. And the side of Mint Gaming are going to continue to look to snowball this game even further.
Yeah, but I don't want to say that that dragon may turn out to be game changing or anything like that. But it is important to know because I talked about the potential win condition for the side of Mint. They need to keep on snowballing. They need to keep getting those advantages and being able to get an early soul. It's important for them. The fact that now the soul will be retarded thanks to the fact that the Chemtech Dragon was taken, it can be really damning for them if they don't keep getting those advantages.
Yeah, they can't really losing these objectives like you're saying, just like this. Oh, there goes the ultimate onto Maelstrom, though. He's going to get locked up in that Cataclysm. They're going to try to get that damage down, but Butters takes it away. Feel fine, though. They do end up killing the Jinx. Going to get some extra gold and extra plates down here on the bot side. Could even look for a dive if Silent Cake decides to stay, but looks like for now, as I'm saying that, they are going to be looking for it. The Q does go down. The ultimate goes down as well.
The ulti didn't hit.
Doesn't land, though. The Glacial Fissure does not land onto him, but they are going to get another kill and a bunch of plates down. So it is now 3.6k gold in the lead for the side of Mint Gaming, and they're feeling real good about this one.
Yeah, and I love this way of playing by Mint Gaming. They need to keep on. They realized that one of their power points was the bot lane, was the fact that they can win this lane if they go for the fights, and they are just dumping resources into the bottom lane and getting as much as possible. And the top lane. Oh wait, Pigley.
An engage on the top side though, but he's going to take the Fnatic out of there.
Oh,
Pigley almost peeling him back there. Does almost find that one. Pigley going to be doing a pretty good job at just neutralizing that. Doesn't even blow the flash. Might be a little bit greedy to stay up here as they can try and dive him. Cowsep is here though, as you're saying. Pigley going to try and do his best to turn this one around. The E flash, there he goes. Godgod going to try and do his best to get away, but he's going to go down to the tower. And now Fnatic goes down as well, and Pigley picks up a double kill thanks to his jungler being there as well. The Pigley probability up there on the top side, doing a great job over there for himself. Gets it done, gets 2 kills, starting that thing off with a flash E, and, dodging out that first gank initially as well.
Yeah, important what Pigley did to be able to get the 2 kills at the end and stop the securing of the turret, or doesn't stop the plates, but he stops the Herald from coming through. But I think more importantly, and I want to give credit to Cowsep Jr. because not only is his movement here, but since the start of the game, going towards top lane on the first gang and securing the first blood, going down to bot lane and keeping up the pressure there to give this Lucian a lead that he can just now keep on dumping against the Jinx and the Nami and kill them both pretty easily. And then once again rotating towards the top side, smelling the potential threat against the set and being able to counteract it really well. I think that Cowsep is playing so well this game and doing what he needed to do as a Jarvan for.
Yeah, doing his job perfectly, honestly, just being at the right place at the right time, being up there at the top side when his top laner is getting ganked. But we are seeing Fnatic go here on the bot side. Butter's going to have to do his best to get away. Has to flash over the wall. Primate going to try and save his life, but Primate is just going to be able to get away by eating over the wall. And Butters is going to be one dead Braum. Couldn't survive that one. Tried to do his best, but, that TP coming out from Skull helped as well, stopped him up, and Fnatic with a great pillar there to stop that Braum from getting away at the start of that. So overall, good from the side of Justice Punch to find something back for themselves. Still are down quite a bit of gold, about 4k towards the side of Justice Punch, but now Flex going to use that W to try and build some space. Fnatic not able to be able to do that much.
be
Calcet
engaged.
Jr. though on the bot side here with another Cataclysm. Into the Cataclysm goes Lucian and Primate trying to do it. Is he going to be able to find it? Does use the Gale Force plus the
Oh,
culling.
he got it.
Turns him into Mincemeat. And now Primate going to be picking up another double kill. Feeling real good for himself as well. Going to get some more plates on this Lucian. And you know, TDS, we were talking about this in the draft. If they could get their lanes ahead, if this Jarvan could influence the map, it was going to be an easy sailing win for the side of Mint Gaming.
I don't want to call it easy sailing win, at least not yet, but it certainly is helping a lot. Like those early leads that they are getting for their Lucian, and even the Jarvan, he can also go in and deal quite a lot of damage towards the Jinx. That is also something to keep in mind, and the Nami as well. So important leads that they are getting, and it's not like the rest of the lanes are being forgotten. Flex has been alone in the mid lane. He has been securing plates, gold, and
This is
Fnatic
going to
is
be
dead.
one
think.
dead Trundle, maybe? Oh, he's going to be
he
able to
ran away.
survive, though. Flex almost getting him down there with that Chaos Storm, but wasn't enough just yet. But back to your point here, real quick. We are going to be seeing this Mountain Dragon being taken, and it is going to be another objective for the side of Mint Gaming here. They weren't able to
Just
secure that first one.
Kill the dragon,
Oh,
please.
gosh. Skull just has to get away there in the end. And Silent Cake on the side here going to try and do his best to maybe steal something, but it is just going to be Silent Cake going down as well. An interesting contest there from the Nami. And overall, it is still going to be a secure there from the side of Mint Gaming onto that Mountain Dragon.
It took longer than they probably needed, but yeah, they secured it. Oh, Primate. Needs to be careful. Still a nice secure of that dragon. They get their first dragon now and can try and make the soul come as quickly as they can. It's not going to be as quickly as possible, but as quickly as they can hope for. And once again, top lane.
Peaklay's still up here. He does still have that ultimate. Ornn ult does come out. He's going to land onto him. Fnatic using that ultimate as well, getting that subjugate down. The W is going to come out. A little bit more damage is going to do it. Fnatic. Peaklay's trying to do his best to turn this 1v2. And now he's going to pull him back. He's getting so much healing. Peaklay makes it happen. Another auto attack, a double kill, a 1v2 in the top side. Peaklay makes it look easy. Give this man a raise. And now he's 5-0-3 up there on the top side. Definitely making this game about him. He's going to continue to scale on, continue to get stronger, and just secure his team a better lead in this future of this game. Again, it is still about 7k gold in the lead for the side of Mid Gaming, looking real poised to continue this snowball and continue to win this game if they are able to get those more objectives and continue to do what they've already been doing. Primate is getting low, though. Does get locked up there with the Nami ultimate.
Primate.
Tidal Wave isn't good enough. Calcep Jr. going into the back line.
Calcep saving lives.
Primate trying to do his best. Braum is going to be here to block as best as he can to get his jungler out of there. And now Primate, oh, there goes back in Calcep. Maelstrom trying to find the kill. Can he do it? Primate, a little bit more damage is going to take him out. The W, though, knifes him out. Primate going to be feeling real good after that one.
Run.
The Glacial Fissure does not land. The TP is coming in now. Peaklay going to try and do his best to get into this fight. I don't know if it's him or Flex, but it is Peaklay.
Oh,
He does his best. Primate is
Fnatic.
here as well. Peaklay going to be able to find another one, and it's just turning this game around. Castle Jr. going to continue to chase. These guys want more blood. They want to continue to kill. And Peaklay shows up on the bot side and gets another kill for himself.
They are men on a mission. They just want to see blood. They just want to keep on going and kill someone. They don't care if there's a turret in there. They just keep trying. And that was close to being super bad for the side of Mid Gaming. Lucian survives by the skin of his teeth. He gets the kill from the Jinx with the W and he's able to run away really closely, but at the end it works out for the side of Min. They get a kill as well for the side that teleports in, and I gotta say, I think that those teleport plays from the side of Min at least have been really well executed in both games, in the first one and in this one as well. The teleports have been really important to try and keep on getting advantage on the bottom lane.
Yeah, and honestly, that's what this story is, right? It's bot lane, top lane, and jungle right now. Calcep Jr. has been around the map supporting his team, allowing them to carry this game. And that set is just a monster. If I was this Ornn, I would not even want to be in that lane right now. But, you know, Gab God is still trying to do his best to scale, trying to hold his positioning there. The rest of the side of Justice Punch is just trying to hold on, trying to maybe scale into the later stage of this game. But at this point, there's so much gold down, losing objectives left and right. It's going to be real hard for them to stay alive if the side of Mint Gaming just decides to hard engage on them. So we'll see how it turns out, but for now, it is going to be Mint Gaming picking up another Rift Herald for themselves.
Yeah, and honestly, we haven't even talked that much. And teleport coming into the bot lane, Pigley, he's alone.
Oh, he's in a 1v4 right now. That package is going to stop him up there. Piccolo going to maybe take the Corki out with his ultimate, but he can't really
Yeah, he's
move
dead.
that all that slow from that package. It's just way too much. Skull doing a good job with that TP flank there. Fnatic now could be in a bad spot there. They have switched Flex up to this top side to try and deal with that Ornn, but here
Oh,
goes
Jarvan.
Cowstep. He is still here doing a bunch of damage. That Cataclysm is going to force Scald back as well. Fnatic is going to try and get him down, but here is Primate as well. They're going to force the TP out of the Ornn, and now that's going to be another tower up there on the top side. But here is Gavgod going to continue this chase. Isn't able to stop it just yet. Primate in the back line, though.
Oh.
Get out the Maelstrom. Could this be one side of
Primate?
getting- I don't know what that was, but that was a little bit ambitious.
Yeah, but I think that's Primate. Just like we have seen Primate playing like this all series. He has been going for plays that seem way too optimistic in reality, and that could have been just a simply disengage. They get a kill for the Jarvan kill as well. They can just disengage, run away, and that's it. That's the end of the story. But it ends up being a Delusion dying for nothing and giving away some of the gold. And we talked about the potential win condition for Justice Punch. It's stabilizing, coming back into the game, and trying to win in the late game. That's the win condition. And these kind of picks are marvelous for them. And for the kind of win, they are horrible. So they need to stop giving away those kind of kills. And this Dragon fight, I think it's important for them as well, with the lead that they had.
Yeah, Mint really need to secure themselves this dragon as well. Start getting more objectives in their hand. And it looks like all 5 members want to fight here, so it is a straight up 5v5 on both sides. Piccolo possibly looking for that E in there.
Oh.
Does have the ultimate available. Is he going to pull him back into the back line? There he goes. Maestro going to get locked up as well. Maestro trying to do his best to get away, but he can't do it. Piccolo already found the first one. Butters on the other side, though. Does still have the Glacial Fissure available. Cowstep as well, having that Rift Herald at hand. It may be pressured on either side, but it looks like they're going to be able to secure themselves that first kill. And Piccolo now just going to be brawling up against Fnatic. Is by himself, just making sure he buys space. And didn't able to find it in the end. Flex here on the other side, though, getting damage onto it.
Just kill the...
Oh, and they smite it away. They barely... That was a real close one. That Super Mega Death Rocket did come out at the last stage of that. And almost secured it, but the side of Mint Gaming are able to get their second dragon on the board.
Yeah, and honestly, we're seeing some of the... Okay. We're seeing the
right.
problems that the composition from the side of Justice Punch brings. Because of the range difference that is in favor of Justice Punch, they can try and poke, they can try and play so far away from the immediate range from the side of Mint Gaming. And even though Mint is so far ahead, the range difference can come impactful, really impactful in the game if they just cover some of that gold difference. If the Jinx gets one more item, the Corki gets his mythic, if the Ornn keeps scaling, that range difference is going to be so important, and the only one that can truly be able to fight back is the Victor, which I don't really like the Shadow Flame, but that's just a thing for me in this particular game.
But at the end of the day, the carries on the side of Mint Gaming are still very strong. They are looking to engage onto Flex here. The Ornn Horde is going to come out. Fnatic tries to follow with that, but Flex is just going to flash away, holding his fingers until the very end of where that ult was coming out towards him. So it does a good job at surviving that one. For now, though, the side of Mint Gaming still have this advantage in their hands. They are still up 7k gold. That's about 2 fully completed items on these carries. So they're going to be feeling real good, securing themselves this good of a gold lead early on. And honestly, each carry on the side of Mint Gaming is going to be feeling real good for themselves.
Yeah, as the carries, they are certainly going to feel great, but the problem falls into what they do with that lead, right? Because that lead is good as long as you're able to fully utilize it. But if they just stagnate with the lead and don't achieve much in the coming, I'll say 10 minutes, then they are just playing into what Justice Punch wants to play.
Yeah, so the onus, again, is really on the side of Mint Gaming over here to try and continue to make things happen. Because when that Jarvan is involved, when that set is involved, that Herald was just destroyed there in that mid lane. But again, when this top side of the side of Mint Gaming are involved, Cowstep and Piccolo, the fight just completely turns around. We saw it last time when Piccolo is able to just soak up that front line, soak up the damage early on, and Cowstep is trying to counter engage. It just turns out really well for the side of Mint. So gonna look to continue doing it here. It is a 5-stack in this bush. They are gonna spot him out though with that sweeper.
They failed.
Almost made that Fnatic death bush happen, but weren't able to do it just yet. Flex here trying to buy space for his team, but just waiting until Piccolo gets back on the map to try and really do something.
Problem is that with the lack of members that they have, it's
Yeah.
going to be really hard for them to fight. The Lucian is not here. The Zed is not trying to come. Lucian was doing the red and the birds in the meanwhile. Like, you need to try and force a fight, not collect more farm. That's not your main win condition at this point.
Yeah, I mean, right now,
Package is up
Lucian,
though, so
yeah,
they need to be careful about it.
right. Lucian is up about 3,000 gold on the enemy AD carry. Maelstrom trying to do his best to survive in that bot lane, but when you have that Jarvan constantly down there, constantly pressuring, it is very hard to stay alive and even scale right now. So 3k gold up for this Lucian so far. Feeling real good for themselves. But the side of Justice Punch, having that quirky package are really just pressuring onto this mid lane. You can see that extra range really, providing a lot for them in between that quirky and that Jinx there. So able to get a lot of pot shots down onto that tower. And now GabGod might be getting
Oh,
locked up.
Pig Lake once again.
Piccolo is getting pinged
Getting
onto by the
collapsed.
4-man squad, but on the other side, though, they have control of this Baron. If they decide hard engage onto Piccolo, they could very well just turn onto that Baron for Mint
Yeah,
Gaming.
that control is so important, and I like that Mint. Oh,
Almost.
okay. Yeah, and I was going to say I like that they have this control because now the pressure that Pigley does provide on the sideline can be meaningful. If Pigley can keep on pushing, then the Baron focus becomes a real threat from the side of Mint, and they can actually get value out of that.
And right now you can see this vision control on the side of Justice Punch is doing a pretty good job for themselves. They were able to spot the full 4-man squad moving here, but Fnatic's still here in the spot. Doesn't want to give away his red buff, and it
Oh, he
might
got
cost him
hit.
his life. Talsep is going to flash in for
Oh,
the
he
auto
got
attack.
hit.
Does get him down. So that's one jungler down for the side of Justice Punch. Well, they only have one jungler, so I don't know why I said only one
It's a
jungler.
smite down, pretty much.
But a smite down there for the side of Justice Punch. So, the side of Mint Gaming could really look to just pressure onto one of these objectives. It doesn't really matter if it's the Baron. They are going to get this dragon regardless. And Nami, all she can really do here is get a ward down. And Lucian just farming those Krugs up, trying to get stronger. Could even look for something else here if he really wanted to. But, Primate just doing a good job at farming up, being real strong for his team, and being that 80 damage his team is really needs here. And that's a lot of damage going down onto the Victor there. So has to stay alive. They do get the dragon in the end there. And now Mint Gaming going to have to respond onto this top side with Piccolo. They're going to send him up there. They don't want to give away any of these objective bounties on the towers towards this Ornn or the rest of his team. So overall, good out of Mint Gaming to secure
They
themselves.
may lose mid though. Yeah, they will end up losing mid lane though. So getting a bounty in favor of the Justice Punch still.
So not too bad there for the side of Justice Punch. They do get some gold back into their hands. Are going to be feeling pretty decent after that. And again, as this game gets later and later, the carries on the side of Justice Punch are really just going to be happy at getting stronger, getting more items under the belt. But the 5-man squad here for the side of Mint Gaming is ready to roam and ready to get down. So this Cloud Soul map is actually doing a lot in providing that extra move speed for them to get away, as well as Mint Gaming for them to just start a fight up too. So the side of Justice Punch are going to have to be careful around this Baron that they don't give up too much.
Yeah, the Baron buff is now the name of the game because of the... Oh, wait.
Oh, it looks like a Brawl is just going out completely. Calcep is going to try disengage alongside the Braum. Piccolo is here now, though. Primate and Piccolo are on the other side of the map. Ult is here. They could just look to engage with the Ornn. Piccolo does have it, pulled him back. He's locked up now. GabGod going to try and do his best. There goes Ornn into the back line. This is the engage that they needed. Now goes Mint Gaming into the backside. That's 4 members in the middle of that fight. Maelstrome's going to find one, though. He's going to try to do his best, but Primate is there. The Gale Force finds him. Skull going to do his best. Can he forget into the wall? Primate, he's going to find another one. A triple kill for the 80 carry. Mint Gaming 10-1-6. This man is putting in work on the Lucian and doing a great job for the rest of his team. That is only 1 member down for the side of Mint Gaming, and now they can push on to the inhibitors of Justice Punch.
Yeah, great fight by the side of Min, forcing, and this is what we wanted. We want to see them for...
Flex just flexing his muscles there.
We want to see them forcing.
Yeah, we said it all game, right, TDS? They should force. They need to make these fights happen. They have the gold lead already, so all they had to do was execute in the fights, in those situations, and the side of Justice Punch are just down way too much gold right now. You can see those score lines, you can see the gold leads there, about 2k in the top lane, 2k or about even in the mid lane, but about 4 or 5k on the bot side. So it's really just been Primate and the rest of his team just doing a lot.
The wallet diff is quite high in this game, and it's playing in favor of the side of Mint Gaming. And funnily enough, when you see the composition from the side of Justice Punch, you think that choke holds small areas where ultimates can go through would be great for them. But it's instead Mid getting the full body out of it because Zed can shine through with just going against the Orn and putting it against the Corki and the Jinx, and they die immediately. They get completely affected by that. And Brom is also doing a fantastic job in those team fights. Oh, the collapse though.
Yeah, the collapse is here. The Cataclysm goes down off the
Oh,
back
the
line.
Masca.
Flex is here trying to get a bunch of damage down. Glacial Fissure as well. That's so much damage onto the carries. Maelstrom is still alive, trying to do his best to stay alive for the side of Justice Punch. Fnatic in the back line fighting Piklay. Piklay is still alive alongside Flex. Primate's still on the other side of the fight, trying to find it as best he can. But it's just going to be the jungler from the side of Mint Gaming going down. Cowstep Jr. doing a good job to start that one off, and the rest of Mint Gaming collapsing as well. So overall, good fight for the side of Mint Gaming. They get this Baron priority. They take down 2 members, and now they're forcing the side of Justice Punch to go into their base to try and stop this Baron from going down.
Yeah, and I honestly would like for the Victor to be much more of a gatekeeper than to fight. Oh, like that. Yeah,
yeah.
just force them out.
Yeah, he just needs to zone right now at this point in time. They are going to get that Baron. And just in time for the Jarvan to get it as well. So all 5
Everyone
members having
gets
this
it.
Baron. Yeah, they're feeling real good after this one.
Yeah, that's the team play we need. Waiting for your teammate to get the Baron buff.
Overall, though, the side of Mint Gaming doing what they need to do. 10k gold up now. Are pinging onto this dragon, which is spawning in about 1 minute here. 7 to
The soul
27
for
is the scoreline. Yep, it is going to be their soul. So if they can secure this, after these champs use their ultis, it's going to be a free game for the side of Mint. They're just going to get so much extra move speed, going to be able to get into those fights so much easier. And then, Primate with an ult, or after using that ult and getting that cloud buff, is going to be able to just move around that fight so easily. Cowstep Jr. as well, and then Piklay after he ults somebody can just run onto the enemy backline. So this Cloud Soul is going to be very good for the side of Mint Gaming, and Justice Punch going to have to do their best to try and deny it, or maybe even just give it and try to just survive at their towers.
It's not the worst of tricks to give away. It's the Cloud Soul
Yeah.
at the end of the day. It is bad. It is not that good to give it away, but it's not the worst. It's not the end of the world. And I don't know why Lucian is trying to camp on the tribush, but
He is on the other side of that
Cool.
fight, though. They don't have their
He's
80
dead.
carry. The side of Mint Gaming did just get locked up there. The ult comes down
Jinx
there.
is dead as well.
Orn in the back line. Primate is trying to take down one. He's going on to the Nami as well. It goes in. Gale forces in as well. Piklay going to take down another one on this side. Cowstep Jr. is
Fnatic.
forcing the flash out of Fnatic. And it is just a one-man trying to run away. Primate on one side. Triple kill now for Primate. 31-6. This man has been doing the damage, putting in the work on the Lucian, and now the side of Mint Gaming are going to be able to run this one into the base and secure themselves a 2-0 win over the side of Justice Punch.
yeah, in a really nice manner. 2 really different games with how they played. One much more scaling focus, one much more early and mid game focus, and they were able to execute them to a really nice degree. I feel like they played really effectively in both games, and I think even though some questionable moments for Primate, at least for me, I think that Cowsep really the MVP at least for me in the series. I think that he performed so well in this game, doing what he needed to do, pretty much making the early game be a victory for the side of Mint. And in the first game, even though it wasn't as flashy, his engages as a moment were really good. So I think that for me, Cowsep playing celerity, and Pigley obviously when he got the lead, he pretty much never let go of it.
Yeah, Piklay doing a great job on that top side as well. Honestly, every member of Mint here doing what they needed to do for their team. And honestly, I think Butters deserves a shout out here. Did a great job on that
100%.
bot side both games, on the Nautilus, on this Braum here. And honestly, I think it was just a great pick overall for that Braum. I think it denied a lot of the stuff that the side of Justice Punch wanted to do. So overall, very, very good out of the side of Mint Gaming. I want to continue to see where they go from here. These boys played great today. Mint Carmel, I'm going to be rooting for you guys all season long. I want you guys to keep popping off here. And overall, I just want to see this damage chart real quick. 20k damage for the Lucian, 19k for Piklay up there on the top side. Primate doing a great job both games as well, just doing what he needed to do as the 80 carries. But yeah, this is
Ideally
what I
not
like
dying
to
as
see.
much.
Yeah. But I think this is where we're gonna call it here. Both games just finished it off. It was a great 2 games today out of the side of Mint Gaming. We'd like to see the Carmel boys pop up and bring everything they have. So Without further ado, this has been Gundo, joined by my boy
Oh, I say my name?
TDS.
TDS, yeah.
If you want to say it, man, I don't know. But joined by TDS and of course BPOS on production. It's a great night, and glad to have you guys joining us for the cast. So without further ado, y'all have a great one. Take care and be safe over there.
Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. Never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do.
I switch you, I'll melt your face off, disappear, I'm your eraser. Aim the cut just like a razor. Murder in this world, my blazer. I got all the boys on me, I got all the lines on ring. Knocking dead, turning heads, I got all the eyes on me. Pretty face, 걸어 들어와, 유행 선두자. 원하지만 못하잖아, 애가 타잖아. You like whoa, 갈리 유도 go. 난 알지, I know. 준비해, cause I like the ball, 멈추지 않아. 나달래, 그게 like a bell, 그거 말고 bye. 믿어봐, 그만큼 크게 어깨 펴고 high. 100% 덤비지 못해, 죽여주잖아. 나는 boss, 간지 with the sauce. 원하면 줄게. I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane.
Coming at you live, real wild. Here to light it up, set the world on fire. Gonna break rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. Never going back, nah, that. Diamonds on drip, 'cause our game will make a splash. Gonna break rules and hearts and tools, 'cause that's what the baddies do. It's crazy.
Sorry for the bad news, sorry I'm so bad. Only took a minute for me to get what you had. Sorry for the bad news, no it makes you sad. There for a minute, baby, you should pack your bags. Without a look, should be breaking the law. If I don't got it, I take what I want. My circle small like a round of applause. You know that I love the sound of applause. You know I mean everything that I said. When you see me coming, get out of the way. Back in the sleigh, back and I'm better and ready to stay.
I'm doing damage when just how I planned it. I do what I want when I say. 모든 날 따라해, 난 끝내주잖아. To live on the edge of insane. It's crazy.
sorry for being the best. 언제든지 내가 좀 Look at the gold all on my chest. Look at the gold, call it a flex.